Cyberpunk 2077, God of War, Fortnite, Call of Duty. Every game you just saw was built with the same engine. Unreal C++, ID Tech 7, C++, Frostbite, C++. All these ones I just mentioned are game engines that were built with C++. The game running on your console right now, almost certainly C++. It has been the dominant language of AAA game development for 30 years. It is notoriously difficult to learn, notoriously unforgiving to use, and completely irreplaceable. This is the story of C++ and the Danish computer scientists who built the language that powers the gaming industry today. Bjarne Stroustrup, sorry if I didn't pronounce the name well, Stroustrup, was born in 1950 in Aarhus, Denmark. He studied mathematics and computer science at Aarhus University, then earned his PhD from Cambridge in 1979, where his doctoral work first introduced him to the limitations of existing programming languages for complex large-scale software. He joined Bell Labs in 1979, the same institution where Danish had built C just years before. Stroustrup loved C. It was fast, portable, and close to the hardware, but he had a problem. He was working on a large, complex software systems, and C, for all its power, was not designed for complexity at scale. As programs grew larger, managing them in pure C became increasingly difficult. There was no inbuilt way to organize code around real-world concepts, no way to define objects that combine data and behavior, no way to build reusable components that could be extended without being rewritten. Stroustrup wanted C's performance, but he wanted to add structure and the ability to model complex systems as collections of interacting objects. He started building what he initially called C with classes. In 1983, it was renamed C++. The plus in C++ is in itself a programming joke. In C, plus means increment by 1. C++ is C incremented. But what Stroustrup added was far more than an increment. He added the following things I'm going to list: object-oriented programming, the ability to define classes, blueprints for objects that combine data and the functions that operate on that data. A player class could contain health, position, and inventory data alongside the functions for moving, attacking, and taking damage, all organized together, all reusable. Inheritance, a class could extend another class, inheriting its properties and behavior while adding its own. A boss class could inherit from enemy, which inherited from character. Code written once could serve many purposes. Polymorphism, different objects could respond to the same instructions in different ways. Core attack parenthesis on a sword and it swings. Core attack parenthesis on a bow and it fires. One interface, different multiple behaviors. Templates, allowing programmers to write code that works with any data type without rewriting it for each one. This addition transformed C from a systems language into a real-world language, capable of modeling virtually any real-world system, including the extraordinarily complex systems required to simulate game worlds. Now, this is where C++ came into the gaming industry. The game industry adopted C++ for a simple reason: nothing else was fast enough. Games are real-time systems. Every frame 60 times per second. Enormous amounts of computation must complete within a fixed time budget. Physics rendering, AI, audio, networking, all of it in 16 milliseconds. C++ gave programmers the object-oriented tools to manage complexity at scale, while retaining C's direct control over memory and hardware, a combination no other language could match. ID Software adopted C++ for Quake's development in the mid-1990s. Epic Games built Unreal Engine in C++ from the very beginning. Every version from Unreal Tournament to Unreal Engine 5 is written in C++. The Nanite geometry system, the Lumen lighting system, and the entire rendering pipeline, all C++. EA's Frostbite, the engine behind FIFA, Battlefield, and Mass Effect, is also in C++. Sony's first-party studios, God of War, Spider-Man, The Last of Us, all these are written in C++. When Tim Sweeney built Unreal Engine, when John Carmack built Quake, and when the teams at Naughty Dog built The Last of Us, they were all thinking in C++. C++ has a reputation. It is one of the most powerful programming languages ever created. It is also one of the most complex, unforgiving, and difficult to master. Unlike modern languages that manage memory automatically, C# requires programmers to manually allocate and free memory. Get it wrong, and you get a memory leak, where your program consumes more and more RAM until it crashes, or a buffer overflow where data spills onto memory you shouldn't touch. A source of both crashes and security vulnerabilities. The language has accumulated features across decades of evolution, making it simultaneously the most powerful and most sprawling language in common use. A joke among programmers is C++ is a language that makes it easy to shoot yourself in the foot. C makes it easy to blow your whole leg off. C++ makes it easy to shoot yourself in the foot accidentally while doing something completely unrelated. And yet, programmers kept choosing it because when performance matters, nothing else comes close. The game industry's relationship with C++ is a love-hate story that has lasted 30 years and shows no signs of ending. C++ has not stood still. Stroustrup has continued evolving the language for over 4 decades. C++ 11, C++ 14, C++ 17, C++ 20, C++ 23. Each major release adding features that make the language safer, more expressive, and more modern while preserving its fundamental performance characteristics. The language faces a new challenger in Rust, a systems programming language designed by Mozilla Research that promises C++ performance with built-in memory safety guarantees. The game industry is beginning to experiment with Rust, and some game engines are being rewritten in it. But C++ is not going anywhere. The hundreds of millions of lines of C++ code in existing game engines represent an investment so vast that replacing it will be impractical for decades. Replacing it entirely will be literally impractical for decades. Bjarne Stroustrup, now in his 70s, remains actively involved in C++'s standardization. He has watched his language become the backbone of an industry he never specifically designed it for. When you play a AAA game today, when you experience a photorealistic world rendered at 60 frames per second, you are experiencing the result of Bjarne Stroustrup's work at Bell Labs in 1979, a Danish computer scientist who wanted to add classes to C and accidentally built the language of the gaming industry. C++ is difficult, unforgiving, complex, and completely irrevocably powerful. Every frame of every AAA game you've ever played was designed in part by code written in a language designed by one man in a research lab in New Jersey. Stroustrup didn't set out to build the language of gaming. He set out to manage complexity. He succeeded beyond anything you could have ever imagined. If this changed how you think about game development, like, subscribe, and tell us, have you ever tried to learn C++? And if you have, how difficult was it for you?